Got her side of the story, went upstairs to speak with the other half of that situation, to which he quickly barricaded himself inside of the hotel room. We were trying to talk with him. We have trained crisis negotiations team at the West Columbia Police Department. We brought our guys and gals out, tried to start getting him on the phone, start moving through and making contact with him. To no avail. He'd answer and hang up, answer and hang up. So we were unsuccessful in that. A little time later, he started actually firing rounds inside the hotel room. Some of those rounds came out through the door that we were in the hallway with. That's when I requested some additional resources here at the scene. He did break a window out. His window faces 378. I know we've had maybe some feedback from the public wanting to know why we had a lot of traffic and issues with rush hour. Well, it was to keep them safe. He had a window that overlooked the Waffle House and all of 378 and was actively shooting rounds out of that window. We've got several vehicles in the parking lot that have bullet holes in them that we're working on investigating those right now. He shot at police officers that were coming on scene. So I think a SLED agent actually got shot at and returned fire. I'll let Sheriff Kuhn talk about his role in that. If you want to take that, Sheriff.
Yes, certainly. Chief is right. When the SLED officer pulled in, rounds were coming down, he returned fire, and Chief Keel has asked us as agency to be the independent investigation and look at that portion. So West Columbia will be handling everything that happened with the suspect here, and we'll be working the portion between the suspect and the SLED agent with the officer involved shooting.
So we've got him shooting rounds outside of a window at law enforcement as they're coming on scene. And we decided we needed to do a little something to change that up. We put together some tactical packages and working with the county and working with SLED. We had some of our federal partners stop by. We can't do this without relationships, and that's the biggest thing that I'll say. So I want to start off by thanking Casey Police Department, Lexington County Sheriff's Department. Highway Patrol started blocking intersections for us out here. SLED, again, our federal agents that stopped by to check on us. The outpouring from the community too. This phone of mine has not stopped with my community leaders offering those prayers. I appreciate that. My men and women at my agency and everybody here at this scene appreciates that, so we thank you for those. And we were able to finally, after a long time, peacefully resolve that situation. So we have taken that person in custody. This is an ongoing investigation. He did sustain a few injuries, and he's on his way to a hospital to get those checked out and treated, but we do not expect anything to be life-threatening at this point in time, so that's where we're at. Take any questions? I don't have that information on me right this second, sir. We'll put that out in a release here in a little bit.
You mentioned the female he was staying with said her side of the story. Can you expand upon what her side of the story is?
Always two, right? So two people arguing, fussing, or fighting. We made contact with her first, got to where what she said was what happened. Then we went to talk with him to see what happened, his side of the story.
Did she make any claims of physical abuse?
I don't know that right here offhand.
Do we know where they were at the hotel?
I do not.
Was anybody else injured?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Do we know how he was apprehended?
We were able to go inside that hotel room using so SLED's got some robots that we put up in the hallway. West Columbia has a drone. We put a drone up on the exterior of that building. We were able to see inside the room, and then we were able to coordinate that response using that technology and take him safely into custody at a point in time that we deemed necessary.
Chief, could you describe the firearm that he was using?
I can't right at this moment, Terry. I'm sorry. I don't have that information with me.
Was it your officers and your canine that breached that room? Or
No, sir. That would be a SLED. SLED did that.
So SLED officers?
Yes, sir.
SLED canine.
Yes, sir.
Do you know he's being held?
I didn't hear your
Do you
question.
know where he's being held?
Right now he's at the hospital.
Do we know what kind of injuries that he is suffering?
I think he got bit by a dog was what they were telling me, but other than that, I don't know.
Would it be safe to say that you sent the dog in first and then the officers came in after?
I didn't send it in, so I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
He was alone in the room. There's nobody else in the room.
That's correct.
Did you know that did your officers know that he had a gun when they were trying to negotiate with him at the time?
We heard some sounds that what we thought was a gun being manipulated or racked or actions being moved. We did confirm with the female that was staying there that he did have a gun in the hotel room, so that obviously came into our decision making as well.
Were your officers in the hallway when he was shooting out the door?
Yes, sir.
What was the relationship between the woman in question and this?
I don't have that information on me right now, sir. I'm sorry.
Was the officer involved shooting, was that inside of the hotel?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so. That took place outside the hotel.
Do we know how many shots ended up firing over?
I was trying to count, but I lost count along the way. It was, I'd have to say I counted at least 15 while I was on scene, so it was more than that though.
How often do y'all have to use these robots that were used in this ring? Is this the first time y'all?
Well, I'll make a distinction on that I don't have robots.
Right.
I have a drone.
Sled.
Yeah, that would be a question for SLED, so I don't know how often they deploy their robots.
Is this the first time you've had to use one in West Columbia?
A SLED robot? We don't use them that often, but this is not the first time that I've had to use one. So
The cars that were shot, civilian cars, law enforcement cars?
I think we had a mixture of both, sir. I'll take two more.
Just to confirm, there's no threat to the community at this point.
No threat to the community at this time. As far as this event goes, he's in custody with us and at a hospital getting
What
treated.
charges is he facing, Chief?
Right now, I know from West Columbia's side of things, we've got discharging a firearm into a dwelling, and I think they're still investigating the domestic violence aspect, obviously, and we're looking at some attempted murder charges as well.
Were any law enforcement injured in this process?
Not that I'm aware of, ma'am. Sheriff, you got anything to add?
Just want to thank all the cooperation. We train together, we know each other, and when we all come together, it was tons of resources. I think there's 100 cops on the ground today for hours. I know the public got inconvenienced, the hotel patrons, but they couldn't be more thankful at the end. The staff, everybody just packed their patience and got through it. And the story is, bad guy peacefully got handled, and all the good guys went home. So we appreciate it.
Hey, Chief, I know you said that you can't identify him right now, but could you say whether or not he's someone who's known to law enforcement? Have you guys ever encountered this person before that you're aware of?
We have not. He does not have a local address. I'm not familiar with him whatsoever. No. And I appreciate y'all's patience with us too. I know that was quite a long time. We're not as large as some of our surrounding agencies that have full-time PIOs, and my PIO has other duties, and he was out here with me. So I know some of y'all were getting frustrated with, well, why can't we get this information? We're trying the best that we can, but that takes priority over that, and I appreciate that, and I understand our relationship, and we depend on each other. And again, I appreciate y'all's patience in that as well. Thank y'all very much.
Is the hotel still closed?
It's semi-closed. How about that? We've got to do some issues as far as getting water and all turned back on in there. We've got a lot of evidence that we need to collect right now, so investigations is handling that. But we've talked with all the patrons there and the hotel staff, and man, what a great company to have here in West Columbia. They've been outstanding as far as working with us and law enforcement, so I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.